If you play with fire for long enough, sooner or later you are going to get burned. And that goes for crazy identity politics weirdos as well, with PlayStation and Sony being the latest in the long and ever-growing line of companies to learn this vital lesson. A lawsuit against PlayStation alleges gender discrimination. Oh no, you don't say. And despite Sony being such a progressive corporation as well. This just keeps happening. And I've been talking about this for a while now, but we're going to see this more and more and more, and well, Arch is, as always, 100% correct. It started, of course, famously with Riot, a very progressive company, and is continued on with Activision Blizzard, with Paradox, with Ubisoft, and now PlayStation is just the last one, although this one is particularly interesting as well, and may I point out, I love this picture right here. Diversity, equity, and inclusion drives innovation, says the Japanese company, whilst having a picture of not a single solitary Japanese person. It very much comes across as, goddamn filthy gaijins and your silly ideas! Just slap something up and hope they shut up. Well, unfortunately, you hired far too many of them, and they decided they don't want to shut up. Though in this case, it's less of control over the company, like we've seen with Activision, at least as of yet, and it comes across a little bit more of a financially motivated scheme, shall we say. The article here goes into a little bit of depth about this. The Sony suit comes amid high-profile state and federal lawsuit against Call of Duty maker Activision over alleged sexual misconduct and gender-based disparities, along with various other things as well. They mention that gaming companies range from Ubisoft to Riot to indies such as Fulbright, I didn't know about that, have faced a reckoning over women's experiences working with them. Ah yes, a reckoning. Well, we'll see whether or not it's all that much of a reckoning. I believe the Riot one was also essentially thrown out of court and ended with a settlement, I believe, although there's a second round of electrical boogaloo going on over that as well. The suit alleges violation of the United States Equal Pay Act, saying Sony discriminates against female employees, including those who are female and those who identify as female. Immediately, the ideology of the plaintiff is rather obvious. In compensation and promotion, and subject them to a work culture predominated by men. I love that too. A work culture predominated by men. It's like, how dare you employ more men than women, filthy sexists. I mean, this is where we are actually heading, where there being more men than women at the workplace will be used as legal evidence of discrimination. Man, we are in some funny times. Major alleges, there you go, that he was ignored by a manager who only responded to men, was passed over for promotion and was terminated this year after submitting a gender bias complaint to the company. Ah yes, the red flag. At least PlayStation had the wherewithal to go, fire. The first step on the road to success, as I've been arguing, you need to purge the ranks of these people. And interestingly enough, the suit alleges a violation of the United States Equal Pay Act. Now, I believe it is illegal to pay people differently based upon their gender in the United States, and yet, what kind of a lawsuit is this? Amusingly enough, they forget to really mention this in the report here. Now, they do, however, very usefully link to the lawsuit, and this is where it gets really interesting. So this is a class and collective action lawsuit with a jury trial. They also mention that the woman launching this is asking for other people within PlayStation to step forward and back her up on the sexual harassment and the, no, not actually harassment yet, mind you, I'm getting ahead of myself, soon, TM, the paid disparity charges. That is very interesting. So, This seems to be a bid for a settlement then, a nice big payout, because this is not a criminal investigation, this is a class action lawsuit with a jury trial. In other words, she's asking for as many people to step forward to back up her case and allege, of course, the same kind of stuff, or even worse, potentially, and then to go to a jury with a much lower bar for evidence, mind you, because, again, she's not alleging that they've done something criminal here, if I'm understanding this correctly. She's merely suing them, rather than reporting them to the police, which you would think would be the correct course of action, but hey, maybe I'm simply misunderstanding something with the Equal Pay Act here. Entirely possible. I'm no US lawyer, of course. But there is another reason for why one might want to do this as well, namely the old saying that nothing spends quite so easily as other people's money. If you get a jury of like-minded individuals, correctly minded individuals, and the only question is whether or not a enormous mega-corporation has to pay money to a bunch of women sitting on the first row, holding back tears, etc. I'm not saying there's any financial incentive here. All I'm saying is, if I was going to make myself a little bit of a retirement fund, I might be considering something along the same lines as this, as once again, of course, also, we are dealing with allegations, alleges. Now, bear you in mind as well, this is very, very early days. Maybe there is some hard evidence here. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Maybe she was smart enough to bring a phone into the meetings. If she knew that there was a history of gender-based discrimination, if she knew that this particular manager had a history of only responding to men, what you do is you put your phone in your pocket, you hit record nice and secret-like, and you walk in there. Most states have, there are some rules and regulations surrounding recording, but honestly, the fine compared to the lawsuit which you can use, who knows? There's also the question of whether or not you can record voice and audio and video. It's a complicated little nonsensical area of legal system there, but again, you can absolutely come up with some evidence here. At the very least, there would be a paper trail, right? If this manager only responds to men, you would have a nice long paper trail of a series of promotions and pay raises which only favor men. Nice and simple. You can absolutely subpoena that kind of nonsense, so let's not go ahead of ourselves, although I kind of already have, with saying that this is purely just for a payout. You know, it might be a genuine case. Again, I'd say that you'd go to the police rather than the class action lawsuit first, but, you know. However, it does fit into the now long line of, I would say, pretty established patterns of behavior that we've seen here now, where quite vague allegations are made of various gender-based discrimination, sexual harassment, inappropriate touching, flirting, or inappropriate jokes even, as we've seen time and time again, and then they go fishing a little bit. Hey, has anybody else heard about this? Anybody else? You wanna stand up? This is the time, etc. That we can maybe even get a little bit of money out of it. Who knows? PlayStation, eh? Again, though, I'm wondering if a Japanese-owned company is going to be quite so susceptible, shall we say. The fact that they already decided to yeet her after submitting a gender bias complaint, you know, that's kind of promising, honestly. Because here's the thing, right? This really, again, as I've said over and over again, is the only way you are ever going to fix this problem. Now, bearing in mind, again, there is the possibility that it is a literal problem, that there is an actual manager who only promotes men over women. No, well, that's not going to be get too far into the absolutes of the case, but we have seen this again and again and again, and it seems to always begin and stop with allegations. Maybe this one will be different. Somehow I doubt it, but it's nice to see the fire spread. So long as it's affecting the correct targets, I don't mind at all. Now, As always, if you liked the video, please do consider leaving a like and a comment in the sections down below, and until next time, thank you all very much for watching, and may the wildfire spread happily with a good tailwind. Have a good day.